I love problems. And I do love problems because there's a really good thing with problems. Problems create a lot of solutions. Problems create more solutions than problems. In fact, every good problem already starts with two solutions. And I'll show you. If I have this apple and I have this box, and I want to put the apple in the box, and it doesn't fit, now I have a problem. Great, because now I have immediately two solutions. I can find a bigger box, of course, or I can find a smaller apple. It's always like that, with every problem. And on top of these basic solutions, we have the creative solutions. For instance, I might think something with a blender to make it fit. Hey, that's how they invented the apple juice. It started with a problem. First we have problems, and then we have the inventions. We really need problems to make progress. There's also a sad thing about problems, and that is that most people get very, very nervous of problems. They start panicking a little, and they feel the stress in their body, and they run outside to find a solution for the problem, and as soon as the first solution pops up into their mind, they feel relieved. They feel relieved. They are so happy now that they have a solution, that something strange is happening in their mind. They simply forget that they have just found a solution. They start thinking that they have found the solution. For instance, if I decide that I need a bigger box for my apple, and I go finding a bigger box, then during this I pass a lot of small apples, but I don't see these apples anymore because I'm too much focused on finding the box. Okay, you might say this is a nice theory, only for small problems. Until you realize that you see that same pattern exists for all the big problems. The big problems of organizations, of companies, of countries, even the big global problems. Well, we have a problem like too much traffic jam, and we think, building more roads. And as soon as we think that, we tend to completely ignore the other logic solution, which is building less cars. Okay, we do have a big problem, and a serious problem in this world. It's called global warming. And, well, if I observe the people, I notice three types of people, how they react to this kind of problem. First, we have the stressy people. They say, help, help, we will all die very soon. And then we have the lazy, egoistic, selfish people. And they are like, well, when does this happen? Oh, after 50 years. Oh, then I don't live anymore, so I don't care. And we have the non-believers. They say, it cannot be true, it cannot be true, it must be a mistake. Or maybe it's a lie from the government to let us pay more taxes. That could also be. I don't know. And me, what type of will I be? Well, I do believe we have a serious problem. And I'm not lazy and not egoistic. But I'm totally not stressed about this problem. Not at all. Because I love problems. I think also this problem will create a lot of solutions. Let's first take a look at the logic solutions, because the problem is we have too much CO2. And so it's very logic that you think, let's produce less CO2, of course. But we should never forget that this is not the solution, it's just a solution. We could as well plant a whole lot of trees, because the trees, they eat the CO2. So, if I see 16,000 people in suits, and they go into a plane to another country, and they negotiate that their country will produce less CO2, and then they go in a plane, and they come back, and then they land, and the first thing they do is opening a coal power plant. Oh my God. I think it would be more useful if these guys just go to the local forest and the local parks and plant a lot of trees. Okay, now the more creative solutions. Look at this. I live in the west of the Netherlands. I live there in the blue part. And there are living millions of people there. My house is already below sea level now. And some friends of mine, they live 6 meters below sea level. 6 meters. Do you think that they are getting seriously frightened if someone tells them that the next century the sea level might rise 1 meter? No, they look, they say, okay, we are now 6 meters below, then we are 7 meters below. So that's not a big issue. Huh? If we manage to build dikes to protect us against 6 meters, we can also build dikes for 7 meters. What's the problem? Well, at this point, this is the point where the creative solutions might start. Because building dikes is very, very expensive. And maybe there's another solution. If there's too much water, and we build a dike to protect the water, why not carry the water away? But where to put all that water? Where? Well, of course, to places where they need it. To Africa. Because Africa is a very poor continent. They have enough sun, but it's too dry. So I think we should bring our water problem to Africa. Because our water problem could be their water solution. And the strange thing is that we already know how to do this. We manage to transport oil through pipelines 5,000 kilometers all the way from Siberia to Holland. Well, if we can manage that, then we can also manage to use these kind of pipelines to transport water 5,000 kilometers from Europe to Africa. Oh yes, we can. Why don't we do it yet? Why not? Because, no, I don't know why we do it, but I know that if we do it, then there's one global problem produces the solutions for another global problem. Poverty in Africa and shortage of food production, especially with the growing world population. There's only one little problem, that this water is salty. And the vegetables, they don't like salty water, they can't grow in it. But this problem is already solved. We already invented machines that can turn salt water into fresh water. These machines, however, they use really a lot of energy. But in Africa, there is lots of energy. There is plenty solar energy. So this problem can be solved. And I love it, because these problems have created a lot of solutions. They are already there, they already exist. You can start picking solutions already tomorrow, and I hope you will help me with that. Thank you.